He didn't defend himself, and that scared everyone. She never looked at him, not once. The entire courtroom watched her walk to the witness stand, hands shaking, eyes fixed on the floor. She swore to tell the truth. Then she pointed and said he destroyed her life. Gasps spread across the room because the man she accused was her own brother. He didn't argue, didn't shout, didn't even defend himself. He only whispered one thing. "You know I wasn't there." She still refused to look up. 20 minutes later, the judge asked a single question, and everything collapsed. If you enjoy stories about hidden truth, betrayal, and justice that refuses to stay buried, subscribe to the Unheard Witness, because sometimes the loudest lies are spoken quietly. The charges were serious: fraud, identity theft, corporate sabotage, millions missing from a family-owned medical supply company. The evidence looked clean. Transfers traced to one account. Login records tied to one employee. Her brother, the oldest sibling, the one who helped build the company from nothing. Police said greed changed him. The media agreed. Headlines called him the trusted insider who betrayed blood for money. He said nothing during arrest, only confusion, because he never touched the accounts. Security footage showed him entering the office late at night. The exact hour money disappeared. Case closed, except he had been invited there by her. She finally took the stand. Soft voice, broken tone. She said she trusted him completely, and until she discovered hidden withdrawals. She described sleepless nights, fear, betrayal. She said she confronted him, claimed he threatened her. Jurors leaned forward. Emotion always wins attention. He sat motionless, hands folded, watching the floor. Not her, never her. During cross-examination, the defense attorney asked why she never reported threats immediately. She hesitated. 1 second too long, she blamed shock, grief, stress. The jury nodded sympathetically, but someone else noticed. The judge. The siblings once ran the company together after their parents died. He handled logistics, she handled finance. He trusted numbers bored him. She loved spreadsheets. 2 years earlier, the company nearly collapsed. A bad investment. Quietly covered. No public record. Yes, only internal restructuring. He sold personal property to save employees' jobs. She handled new investors. Nobody asked where those investors came from. A junior accountant suddenly resigned, months before the theft, left without notice. No forwarding address. Nobody mentioned it in court, except the defense. The prosecution objected. Irrelevant. The judge allowed one question. The accountant had filed an internal complaint against her. The courtroom shifted slightly, but emotion still favored her. She cried while describing betrayal. Jurors softened. Even reporters lowered cameras. Then the defense introduced server access logs. Multiple logins, different locations, impossible travel time. Someone used his credentials remotely. She said hackers existed. Technology fails. And people nodded again. Simple explanations comfort people. But then, phone records appeared. Her phone connected to the office Wi-Fi that same night. She claimed coincidence. Late paperwork. Nothing unusual. Still refusing to look at him. He finally spoke during recess. To no one. Just quietly. "I would have given you everything." A reporter overheard. That sentence spread online within hours. Public sympathy cracked slightly. Why would a thief sound heartbroken? Meanwhile, the defense investigator visited the abandoned accountant's apartment. Dust everywhere, except one drawer. Recently opened. Inside, copies of offshore transfers, signed authorization, her signature. The accountant hadn't disappeared. He entered witness protection after reporting corporate laundering. Court resumed the next morning. She appeared exhausted, eyes red, still avoiding her brother. The defense requested permission to call a surprise witness, denied procedure rules. The prosecution smiled. Victory felt close. Then the judge paused. He reread earlier testimony. Something bothered him. He leaned forward and finally spoke. "Why?" the judge asked quietly. "Did you never look at the defendant while accusing him?" Silence. Nobody expected that. Lawyers exchanged confused glances. She froze. He repeated it, slowly. "Most victims face the person they fear." Her hands trembled. She said nothing. Seconds passed, then tears. Not controlled ones, real panic. Because she finally looked up, straight at her brother, and whispered, "I didn't think you'd still protect me." Gasps erupted. The prosecutor stood immediately. Objected. Too late. Words once spoken cannot be returned. The defense revealed the whistleblower accountant via recorded deposition. He described investor pressure, hidden debts, her secret borrowing. She had taken illegal loans to keep the company afloat. When repayment failed, she moved money, blamed the only person with full access, her brother. Emails appeared, threats from investors, corporate seizure warnings. She believed prison would destroy her reputation. But him? He was quiet, reliable. He would never expose family publicly. She gambled on silence. She almost won. He stood before the verdict correction hearing. Charges dismissed. Freedom restored. The judge apologized publicly. Rare, historic. Reporters waited for anger, revenge, statements. Instead, he walked toward her. Everyone held breath. He simply said, "You didn't have to be afraid alone." Then left the courtroom without looking back. Outside, cameras chased headlines. Wrongfully accused brother freed. Corporate fraud exposed. But the most powerful image never aired. She remained seated alone, finally understanding something too late. Silence can destroy louder than lies, and sometimes the question nobody prepares for is the one that tells the truth.